You've been told your entire life that to get what you want, you must work harder. You must push, strive, and exert more control. You've been taught that success is a battle won through sheer force of will. But what if this is the very reason what you desire remains just out of reach? What if the relentless effort you're pouring into your dreams is actually creating a wall between you and their fulfillment? You are caught in a cosmic trap, a fundamental misunderstanding of how reality operates. This is the great paradox of effort. The more desperately you try to force a specific outcome, the more you signal a frequency of lack, of absence, of not having. You are screaming into the quantum field, "I don't have this." And the universe, which is a perfect and impartial mirror, simply reflects that state of lack right back at you. Think about your own life. When have your biggest breakthroughs occurred? Was it in the moments of intense, white-knuckled struggle? Or was it in the moment you finally threw your hands up, let go, and surrendered? That moment of release, that exhale, is not a moment of failure. It is a moment of profound power. It is the moment you stop resisting the flow of the universe and finally allow it to deliver what you have been asking for. We are not just physical beings in a physical world. We are vibrational beings in a vibrational universe. Every thought, every emotion emits a frequency. Your state of being is a constant broadcast. When you are forcing, striving, and struggling, you are broadcasting a chaotic, desperate frequency. When you surrender, you shift into a coherent frequency of trust and allowance. Reality does not respond to the intensity of your demands. It responds to the clarity of your resonance. This idea of surrender is perhaps one of the most misunderstood concepts in all of spiritual and personal development. Many people hear surrender and immediately think of apathy, of giving up, of becoming a passive bystander in their own life. This could not be further from the truth. Surrender, in the context of creating your reality, is not a passive act. It is an active state of coherence. It is the conscious decision to stop fighting with reality as it is, and instead, to align your internal state with the reality you wish to experience. It is the art of embodying the feeling of the wish already fulfilled. You do not surrender your desire. You surrender your attachment to how and when it will manifest. This is a critical distinction. The universe operates on the principle of resonance. In quantum physics, the observer effect demonstrates that the act of observation changes the phenomenon being observed. You are the observer of your life. Your state of being, your frequency, is the lens through which you observe, and it collapses waves of infinite possibility into the particles of your experience. A desperate observer, one vibrating with lack and fear, collapses possibilities that match that desperation. An aligned observer, one who has surrendered into the feeling of wholeness, joy, and gratitude, collapses a reality that reflects that coherence. So, surrender is not about waiting for something to happen. It is about becoming the person to whom it happens. It is about aligning your energy so profoundly with your desired outcome that its manifestation becomes an inevitable byproduct of who you are. This isn't wishful thinking. This is quantum law. You are not willing things into existence. You are allowing them into existence by becoming a vibrational match to them. Why does forcing things feel so counterproductive? Why does the grind often lead to burnout instead of breakthroughs? The answer lies in the intersection of neuroscience and quantum physics. When you are in a state of stressful striving, pushing against resistance, and worrying about the outcome, you activate your sympathetic nervous system. This is the body's fight or flight response. Your brain is flooded with stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline. Your heart rate increases, your muscles tense, and your perception literally narrows. Your brain becomes hyper-focused on the perceived threat, the problem, the lack. In this state, you are biologically and neurologically blocked from seeing creative solutions, from noticing synchronicities, from accessing higher wisdom. You are in survival mode, and survival mode is not creation mode. Your subconscious mind, which governs over 95% of your behavior, is deeply conditioned by these emotional states. If your life has been a series of struggles, Your subconscious has learned that struggle is the norm. It has created a neural identity around being a striver, a fighter. So when you consciously desire ease and flow, you create a conflict, an incoherence between your conscious mind and your subconscious programming. This internal resistance is a chaotic energy signature that disrupts your connection to the quantum field. Epigenetics shows us that these emotional states of stress can even signal our genes to express themselves in ways that lead to disease and imbalance. You are literally programming your body and your energy field for failure through forced effort. The harder you push, the deeper you ingrain the identity of someone who has to push, and the more reality reflects that struggle back to you. The solution, then, is to shift your state before you take action. This is the crucial difference between forced effort and inspired action. Forced effort comes from a place of lack. It is an attempt to close the gap between where you are and where you want to be through brute force. It feels heavy, draining, and stressful. It is rooted in the belief that you are separate from what you desire, and you must struggle to get it. Inspired action, on the other hand, arises from a state of alignment and coherence. It feels light, energizing, and joyful. It is the natural, effortless next step that appears when you have already embodied the feeling of your wish fulfilled. The action itself might look the same from the outside. You might still be making phone calls, sending emails, or working on a project. But the energetic origin is completely different. One is a broadcast of lack. The other is a broadcast of wholeness. To make this shift, you must activate your parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and digest state. This is done through practices like meditation, deep breathing, spending time in nature, or simply through a conscious decision to let go. In this relaxed, coherent state, your brain waves change. You move from high beta stress waves to calmer alpha and theta waves, where you have access to insight, creativity, and intuition. Your perception widens. You begin to see possibilities you were blind to before. From this state, you don't have to figure out the next step. The next step reveals itself to you. The key is to make your internal state of being your primary focus. Your first job is not to do, but to be. To be the person who already has what you desire. And a powerful way to anchor this is to make a conscious declaration. Right now, say it with me, either out loud or in your mind. I allow it to be easy. Feel the shift that single statement creates. You are moving from resistance to resonance. When you stop trying to force the universe's hand and instead enter this state of coherent surrender, something miraculous happens. Your personal energy field, which was once chaotic and contracted, becomes harmonious and expansive. This coherent field begins to interact with the quantum field in a new way. This is the principle of resonance. Just as one tuning fork can cause another to vibrate at the same frequency without touching it, your coherent energy field can entrain or synchronize with the quantum field. You become a powerful energetic magnet. Reality, which is fundamentally fluid and potential, begins to rearrange itself around your new frequency. This is not a metaphor, it is the physics of creation. Synchronicities start appearing. The right people call. The perfect opportunity lands in your lap. A piece of information you needed suddenly shows up. These are not coincidences. They are the quantum field rearranging itself to match the information you are broadcasting with your state of being. The double-slit experiment in quantum physics proves that particles behave differently when they are being observed. In essence, consciousness collapses potentiality into actuality. When your consciousness is coherent, ordered, and aligned with your desire, you collapse potentiality in a much more elegant and efficient way than when your consciousness is chaotic, desperate, and focused on lack. The universe doesn't give you a complete, step-by-step map. It intentionally gives you an incomplete puzzle. It provides fragments, signs, and nudges. The ego wants to see the whole picture before it takes a step. It wants to control the entire process. This creates immense frustration and resistance. The true skill of manifestation is to trust the process, to take the next inspired step with incomplete information, allowing the path to reveal itself to you piece by piece as you walk it. You don't need to see the whole staircase. You just need to take the first step in faith. How do you integrate this profound shift into your daily life, which is so often filled with demands, deadlines, and distractions? It begins with intention. It begins the moment you wake up. Before you check your phone, before you engage with the problems of the day, take 5 minutes to consciously cultivate the state of being you wish to experience. Don't think about what you need to do. Think about who you want to be. How does the version of you who has already achieved your goals feel? Do they feel peaceful, abundant, joyful, loved? Your only job in those first few minutes is to generate that feeling in your body right now. Feel it as a real, tangible sensation. This practice calibrates your energetic set point for the day. You are starting from a place of fullness, not from a place of lack. Throughout the day, set reminders to check in with yourself. Ask, am I in a state of force or a state of flow? Am I trying or am I allowing? If you find yourself tensing up, striving, and forcing, simply pause. Take 3 deep breaths. Close your eyes and reconnect with the feeling of your wish fulfilled. Reaffirm your declaration. I allow it to be easy. This is not about being perfect. It is about course correction. It's about becoming a master of your own state. To amplify this process, I want you to do something right now. Go to the comments section and type the declaration. I allow it to be easy. By writing it down and sharing it, you are not only reinforcing this new belief in your own subconscious mind, but you are adding your energy to a collective field of intention. You are signaling to the universe and to yourself that you are done with the struggle. You are ready for a new way, a way of ease, flow, and grace. Of course, as you begin this practice, the old programming will fight back. Your mind, conditioned for years or decades to believe in struggle, will present you with doubt. It will say, this is too simple. It can't be this easy. You need to work harder. What happens when your external reality doesn't seem to be changing immediately? This is the critical test. This is where most people give up and revert to their old ways of forcing and controlling. The key is to understand that doubt is simply a thought. It's an echo of old energy. It is not the truth. The mistake is to fight the doubt, to resist it, because what you resist persists. Instead, you must learn to observe the doubt without identifying with it. See it as a cloud passing in the sky of your awareness. Acknowledge it, and then gently and lovingly return your focus to the state you choose to embody. This is where ancient spiritual teachings provide profound wisdom. Vedanta philosophy speaks of non-attachment, not to the desire itself, but to the outcome and the timing. The Bible says, "Therefore I tell you, whatever you ask for in prayer, believe that you have received it, and it will be yours." This isn't about pretending. It is about a deep, cellular faith in the unseen. It's about stabilizing your new frequency, even when the mirror of reality is still reflecting your past vibration. There is always a lag time in the universe. It's like planting a seed. You don't dig it up every day to see if it's growing. You water it, you trust the process, and you allow it to sprout in its own time. Your job is to tend to the soil of your inner world, sustain the feeling, hold the vision, and trust that the laws of the universe are as reliable as the law of gravity. What you consistently embody, you will inevitably experience. The more you practice returning to your desired state, the more you strengthen that neural pathway until it becomes your new default identity. Let's bring this all together. The old paradigm of achievement is broken. It is a paradigm of force, struggle, and separation, and it is burning you out. The new paradigm, a paradigm aligned with the true nature of reality as understood by both quantum physics and ancient wisdom, is one of resonance, surrender, and flow. You are a creator, but you do not create with your hands or your actions alone. You create with your being. Your frequency is your most powerful tool. The universe is not a stubborn opponent to be conquered. It is a collaborative partner that mirrors your dominant state of consciousness. The paradox of effort teaches us that the moment you stop trying to force the river to flow is the moment you can finally turn your boat downstream and let the current carry you. Surrender is not weakness. It is the highest form of power. It is the wisdom to know that inspired action arising from a state of alignment is infinitely more effective than frantic effort born of desperation. The path is not to do more, but to be more. To be so fully embodied in the feeling of your ideal reality that the universe has no choice but to conform to your new truth. Stop fighting with your reality. Stop trying to control every piece of the puzzle. Your only work is to shift your internal state from resistance to resonance, from trying to being, from force to flow. Let go of the need to know how. Your job is the what and the why. The how is the domain of the universe. Trust in the unseen. Trust in the power of your own coherent heart and mind to orchestrate the events, people, and opportunities necessary for your desires to manifest. It is already done in the quantum field. Your only task is to align with it. So, take a deep breath, release the struggle, and make this your new mantra, your new way of being. I allow it to be easy. I allow it to be easy. I allow it to be easy.